Well, the Jazz Connect conference really takes its cues historically from the Jazz Times conference. And the first one I attended was 1984. I believe the first one began in the late 70s, perhaps 79. I'm not exactly sure what year, but it was always held at the Roosevelt Hotel. And in the latter years, there was a Jazz Times conference in East Rutherford, and then the final one being in 1998 over in Lower Manhattan in Battery Park, which was also the same year that the IAJE conference came to New York in 1998. And the IAJE conference, International Association of Jazz Educators, was focused primarily on jazz education. But that year in '98 was a tipping point, as they say, because that was the year that Lee Mergner, the publisher of Jazz Times magazine, and myself, who had been doing the public relations for Jazz Times, really planted our flag and decided to take what Lee has done for many years with Jazz Times, which was bringing all his compelling programming and knowledge and working with me and putting a education spin on it, but creating the industry track in a way that was inclusive for educators and the industry as well. So there was a real flavor that educators in the industry could take away from, that they could learn from and impart to their students or utilize in their business practices. And this continued on for about 10 years or so. Every year the IAJE would have an industry track contained within their conference until the demise of IAJE, which was a major loss in our industry. It was kind of like a body blow that came out of nowhere. And there was a few years where people were just saying, man, what do we do? It's January. There isn't a place to convene and to talk and to connect and to catch up and to share ideas. And approximately 4 years ago, Lee Mergner had the idea to create a new conference that would essentially move the industry forward and deal with the ideas of what's happening today in the business, so we can all get together and share with what we've been experiencing over the last few years. But now we have the internet and we have ways to share the knowledge in a much more dynamic way. So Lee and the Jazz Forward Coalition came together to convene a new conference called Jazz Connect. And very quickly it connected the jazz audience in New York. Well, we're in New York and it's the Winter Jazz Fest and it's APAP. And I just wanted to say that APAP was also, from what I understand, one of the partners of Jazz Connect, and allowed for Jazz Connect to have a home at the Hilton Hotel for its first 3 years, where they could convene meetings and panel discussions. And very inspiring last year was the NARIS session where Bruce Lundvall was honored, and a Lifetime Achievement Award has been bestowed in his honor going forward. Really exciting that Jazz Connect is going to be moving into St. Peter's Church, a very apt location given the history of St. Peter's and its connection to the jazz community in New York. So that's a bit of history about how Jazz Connect started, its roots, its inspiration, and where it's going. Hey, I'm Don Lucoff. For this videos and for other videos, you got to check out jazztimes.com.